I feel like talking, so I was like, why not go live? Might as well. So we're here. We're here. We're here. Okay, what do I feel like talking about today? Today I want to talk about dating. I want to talk about relationships. I want to talk about this environment and climate and what it feels like to fucking date and be in relationship right now. Okay? And I mean all relationships, family relationships, friend relationships, romantic relationships, all the relationships. I feel like relationships right now have been chopped and motherfucking screwed. Okay? Chopped and screwed. Okay? Honestly. And I mean that across the board. Like, I think for me, a lot of what I understand to be how we connect in relationship comes from how we connect to our families in the first place. Whatever dynamics you have with your family that you play out, that are healed, that are unhealed, that's what you are going to play out and practice in your platonic and romantic relationships as well. And so, oh, child. I gotta like breathe and stuff because I got stuff happening in my body. So I just gotta breathe. But for real, that's how you, if you feeling pain and stuff, you gotta breathe through it. Okay. But I'm talking about relationships and whatnot. Okay. But all the relationships, platonic, familial, romantic, mainly because I got a lot of questions because I know what's happening in my experience and with my dynamics. But I'm like, what's happening with y'all? And it's like my friends are my friends. The people that I'm around them for a reason, you know? But y'all, we're connected in a different way. So I want your perspective. I want to know what you think and what you feel, okay? What's happening in your world. So maybe that could give me a little understanding, okay? Because niggas are tripping. People are tripping, okay? And I'm trying to connect. I want to be connected. It's connected. And so as I'm trying to be connected, I am realizing people suck at this. People suck at being connected, okay? People like to be disconnected. What's up? Gang, gang. Where you from? And I'm over it because I'm actually trying to connect, okay? So it's like I'm going on dates with people. You're asking me out on a date. You're initiating the interaction. And then we go on a date and then you don't initiate any further communication. You don't talk anymore. You don't say stuff anymore. Unless it's like little small things, like you responding to Instagram stories or you're making hints that, oh, hello, I'm still over here. Say something. Like, say something. Why also, here's what I get. It's different when you got crushes because I be having crushes. I could sit and watch and have a whole dream in my head with somebody. And I do that with people that I know I'm not. What's up? I said hi. Hey. I do that with people I'm not you know, trying to be connected to in real life. But people who I genuinely am like, okay, I'm gonna go after this. It's like if I initiate something, I'm not gonna don't initiate something if you ain't ready. You know, like so why? So I think to me dating just kind of feels like going in a circle right now. And it's kind of frustrating because it's like I'm very clear on where I want to go. Now, I'm not saying I know how I'm supposed to get there. You know, there's a lot of this life that is outside of my design and understanding, and I'm okay with surrendering to that and submitting to that. But also, what the fuck are we doing? You know? And I'm too old to be not even too old. It's more so, I won't say old because I don't think I'm old. I think I'm very youthful. But it's like time is of the essence, you know? And that's not because of age, that's because of life. You know, life is so precious. People are losing people. You know, places aren't staying the same anymore. Like, neighborhoods don't look the same. Like, everything is changing. Everything is evolving and growing, you know? And so it's like I think there is a deep hunger in me that wants to evolve and grow more as well. But it's like part of that is in connection. You know, part of that is in how your connections help you grow. So I guess I'm really just in a space where I'm looking for deeper connection. But as I'm trying to connect with others, it's like, what are y'all doing? And if I'm honest, it's starting to piss me off. Because it's like there's no real explanation, there's no real excuse. Like, people just kind of, people are very, like, inconsiderate of other people. And people are very good at making excuses for why they get to be inconsiderate. And it's like, if you look around, the world is on fire for everybody. You know, change is happening to everybody. And even when I say the world is on fire, I don't mean that in a crazy way. Have you been smoking? Have you? Have you? You tell me first. You know, people, you made me lose track of what I was saying. That should answer your question. I just feel like people are kind of, I don't know. It's weird. It's just weird, okay? It's like, what's the point of us all being here on the planet together if we're not supposed to connect with each other? Everybody just spends all their time trying to be disconnected and have tension and conflict. Like, everybody wants to be, hi, what's up, awesome dude? What's up, awesome dude? Are you an awesome dude? You said no, but you definitely have. What made you say that, though? Is it my thoughts? Is it my eyes? It's like, I could have been crying. There's tons of reasons. What made you say that? I'm just intrigued. I like knowing. If I know better, I can better be like, oh, that's a lot. I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm not going to answer that. I feel like this is some internet stuff that I'm like, I don't know. I'm not answering it. Anyway, ask me a random question and see if I have the answer. I got on here because I wanted to rant about relationships because I'm over dealing with people. I'm like over dealing with people, you know, like, and not like for real, but it's like I really want to connect, and people be for fake connecting. People be for fake connecting. People want to be shallow. People want to be hi. Every time somebody says hi, I'm just gonna say hi, hi, hi. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ooh. It's like I got on here with a plan. Nope, I'm not answering. I'm not answering that. Anyway, thank you. I appreciate that. Hmm. In the office, if I'm honest, I feel like I don't know their names. I gotta look at their faces, but my phone's right here. I gotta look at their faces. Um, Obviously the one guy that be doing all the crazy stuff, he's kind of funny. It's kind of like, you know, oh, okay, that's all right. No one can be ashamed of me as long as I'm not ashamed of myself. And I am not. So I guess we don't have to worry about that being true. Now I gotta go look at the office characters. Stanley Hudson. I know who Stanley is. Hmm. Let's see. Which office character do I like the most? I don't know, honestly. I feel like I didn't. I watched it, but like so long ago. I need to rewatch it. And I always like half watched it when I did watch it. Stanley's funny though. The White is also low key just funny. Like his character is random. And I mean, Michael Scott is like, I mean, I just think the show, I think they all help each other. They work as a team. It was a collective thing for me. I really looked that up though. How old are y'all? How old is the people in here? Because I got on here to talk about something. But every time I start reading the chat, I get distracted. And normally it's younger people. And that's why I get distracted. Anyway, dating is weird. Dating is weird in 2025. And I'm trying to understand it. And so that's why I went live. So I can ask people. Yeah, 16. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with being 16. That's an awesome age. What's it like dating as a 16-year-old? And you're 67. Okay, yeah, see, that's a big divide. Are you married, Andrew? Because I got on here to talk about what it's like to be, and not even just married, just having relationships. Who said, who said cap, bro? Who's capping? What's cap? What's cap? I feel like family relationships, friendships, relationships are like, they're going through a change. They're different. It's different nowadays. And wanting to build genuine connection to me feels weird. Like it feels like people I don't want to say they run from it, but it's like, yeah, that's the best thing to say. People run from it. Everybody's avoidant. Everybody's so caught up in what they're doing and what they got going on. Everybody's so consumed with their own selves. And it's like that's the fastest way to block a healthy relationship from growing and flourishing is being consumed with yourself. And I guess my thing is like family relationships you don't have a choice over. Friendships you have some choice in. You choose your friendships. But when it comes to like romantic relationships, those are relationships you choose too. And it's just interesting that it's like why initiate wanting connections like that if you're not, even friendships, why initiate wanting connections like that if you're not serious about sustaining them? And if you know it's not a connection that you want to sustain, why not just communicate that? Why don't people like communicating? I'm a very direct communicator. I avoid things, don't get me wrong. When emotions first come on, I tend to avoid first out of the fact that I have trouble processing and communicating at the same time. So if I'm feeling a fresh emotion and then you want me to like talk it out, that's hard for me. Like I gotta actually be like, whoa, let me see what I'm feeling. And then, okay, let's talk about it. But I feel like I'm good at communicating or even being like, you know what, I feel too overwhelmed with emotions right now, so I can't talk. Or I'm good at being like, I don't really like this or I don't want this. Now, sometimes, like I said, I will avoid expressing myself, but it's normally because I'm trying to avoid conflict. I know that about myself. I have that awareness. But when engaging with other people who don't communicate, but then they don't communicate, so it's like it's tricky because it's like, okay, you can't communicate to be like, hey, I don't want to communicate, or hey, I don't want to do this, or hey, I don't want to do that. But then also you want to communicate. You see how it's tricky and how it's a trap? And I'm specifically in my brain referring to romantic stuff or, potential romantic stuff. Because it's like, I don't know, I guess if I'm going out, I guess for me, I'm dating with the intention of being in a long term committed relationship, ideally marriage. And so when I'm dating, it's like, I know how to have fun. I know how to like have connections where it's like, okay, I'm not just being too serious, but it's also like because I am dating with the intention for a long-term connection, I I think I just don't give too much time and space for time to be dragged out too long, you know? And it's mostly because I feel like I'm very emotional. I get emotionally attached, you know? And so it's easier for me to just get clear because it's like I'm going to put emotional effort. So it's like, let me know how I'm putting emotional effort or where the emotional effort is going. Or maybe this is somebody who I just need to be friends with, you know? Or maybe blah, 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 blah. But when I really like somebody, it's hard for me to do that. It's like I just want to like you. So if I don't really understand why I can't just like you or why we can't just whatever, and then and to me, like mundane human things aren't a good enough reason. Like people are always like time. It's not the right time, and it's like, there's things you could do in the meantime, though. Like. And I think that's the thing with humans. I think we're so caught up on extremes and we're so caught up on ourselves and our own capacity and perspective that we don't really know how to like honor sharing time with people. And I think this is something that has been really prominent for me because I've just experienced a lot of death. Even this year alone, I've lost two people. And I lost my father at a young age. So my perspective has been shaped around the amount of time that I do or do not have with people. Um, and so I think as I've grown, it's helped me to be able to, see how precious time is. And as I'm growing, I'm trying to better show time that I see that it's precious, and to in real time, do that. And so that's something that I guess in my relationships, I'm also requiring and looking for and cultivating. And so then it's like, damn, you can want to do certain stuff with certain people or you can want to bring certain people along, but that don't mean that that's what that is. So I don't know. I feel like this is a sign of the times. I mean, I do know because there's a world where even thinking about like astrology and, thinking about how the planets are moving and how even us having a lot of energies that's been focused in like Aries. Like we're about to have all fire and air signs in the sky. What's up, Benji? Benji, girl, come here. What is all this girl? She dramatic. Girl, what's up? You want somebody to play with you? Look, she done brought her little thing up here. What's up, girl? You want somebody to play with you? I don't got time. I'm on the live. I can't play. She always want to play. She be bringing me her toys. She be bringing me the little balls. Or she like to play on these strings. It's my cat. Say hi, Benji. Say hi, Benji. Anyway, I'm probably about to get off of here. I'm just on here talking about how I feel. Because I've just been having a time. And I know I should probably just write a song about it or write about it. But there's a part of me that also just, wants to be social about it. I.e. talk to somebody. But my friends, it's like, I already know what they're going to say. So it's like I'm talking to my internet friends, my internet cousins. What's up, internet cousins? What y'all doing? What y'all doing? What y'all doing? Yeah, I'm gonna probably get off here. I don't know if I'm gonna save this live, but I know I went live, and that's all that matters. And it don't always hit, but sometimes you just gotta go with it, okay? Relationships. Relationships. I think this actually made me feel a little better. I just need to get that off my chest. I just need to get it off my chest. I need to focus. There's so much to focus on. There's so much for us to do. This is such an amazing time to be alive. Truly, there's so much change and innovation in the air. If you're like open to it, there's so much possibility. It's just having to have the willingness to see outside of like what's been normal, but also what we expect. Like we kind of just normally only want what our eyes can see, what feels safe to us and tangible to us. But it's like our perspective as humans is really so limited, you know? So being able to open up to just having uh, a deeper faith and allowing like vision and imagination to really like drive you and to like really tune into passion. Like that's what this time is. And for myself, that's at least what, I have been, I guess, in my own way, locking into or discovering what that looks like for me. And now it's about having the courage. It was 21 on the clock when I said that having the courage to actually like follow through with that and to let it happen and to trust it. You know, who I really got on here, long story short, because it's like, hey, partnership is like a very important thing to me. Friendship is very important to me. And I feel like my relationships have just been such a space of just like, I don't know. I don't know. It's been like a lot of just like lessons and distance and not in all of them. Like I have friends, I have people, but even like, my closest friends, a lot of times like we don't see each other all the time, or we don't talk all the time. And then family, I would say that, I mean, I'm not very like, I love my family. My family loves me. Like, I could call probably any of my cousins on my mom's side and be like, if I really, really needed them, they would be there. And I don't think any of them got nothing bad to say about me. And I don't honestly got nothing bad to say about any of them either. I think it just is the fact that, like, I feel apart, like I'm not necessarily included, and not in like a crazy way. It's kind of like when you got your people that you just be around the most, or and even when you have different things in common. But it's kind of, so I've gotten used to that, but sometimes it does feel, even like my siblings are older than me, but I'm not necessarily close to them. Like we get along. Like those are my brothers. But I'm not necessarily like close to them, you know. So I do, and so then dating always gets highlighted more because family and friends. It'd be like I love my friends though. If it wasn't for my friends, man, But even in friendship dynamics, it's like I have lost some friends, or some of my friendships do have tension there, because it's like all relationships have to evolve. All relationships are brought in your life to encourage evolution, to encourage movement. People use relationships to be stagnant, but relationships aren't a space where you're supposed to be stagnant. Relationships are a vehicle to help you grow, and to help you see. So the fact that we try to do the opposite of that is really crazy. But yeah, I just need to talk it out. I already feel better. I know things are happening as they need to, and I know what's for me is for me, from my family dynamics to my friendship dynamics to romantic things. I know what is for me is for me. And I know that because I am even wired the way I am, even having a Libra moon, like I know there's just certain things that it's like that's a duh for me, but it's again surrendering to the how and trusting the how and the when and those things and truly letting it be. And I think some moments, depending on the phase of the moon or just what's going on in the world or what's going on in my personal life or, sometimes I get sad and I just be like, man, I just wish I had a space of security like that, like even with family, I don't, my family feels very, I don't know, it's interesting. It's interesting to describe it. I feel like this is a crazy way to describe it, but like, I'm the hippie kid. I'm like a latchkey kid. Like I was raised by the community. I'm like the kid. Well, you're the kid that's like raised by the community and raised by the neighborhood, and you know, it's like when you grow up, it's like you don't belong to anybody. You belong to the experience. You belong to, yourself. You belong to whoever is closest to you at the moment. It's like when you think about people who move a lot, like growing up, it's like there's always kind of just like this. But then it's like those people are good at like moving and being and traveling and being in new spaces. And so it's like, I think I have like a similar type of energy like that. um, and so I'm learning now to see it in deeper ways as a gift, and to not resist it so much. But sometimes I get so lonely. I can't just anyway, huh? You alone. I think that's the words. I hate nobody but you. Yeah, I think that's. I get so lonely. I can't even you. Almost went off key because I don't really know. I'm trying to remember the melody. Regardless, I'm about to go listen to that song. Okay, that's it. I think I'm going to end the live now. This was cool. I'm grateful. Going live on YouTube is interesting because, the fact that it be fucking young people on here just saying anything, I just gotta get better at locking in. Lock it in, twin. Anyway, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Okay? Yeah, do that.